All right, welcome back, Bernola Man. Why don't
Welcome
you
back to you.
hit us with that recap?
Yeah. um. All right, let's do it. Episode 2. The 9/11 of the Pokemon series. Too soon.
Too soon.
All right. Let's see. What happens in this episode involves Ash running to the next town over. I believe it's Vermilion?
Yeah.
Sweet. And his Pikachu's hurt because of the whole Spearow thing that went on. And then so he takes Pikachu to the Pokemon Center, and Nurse Joy immediately. Well, before that actually, Officer Jenny's giving him a hard time. Officer Jenny gives him a hard time because she thinks that he's stolen this Pikachu. Because obviously someone that would steal a Pikachu would just carry it around in his hands, hoping it didn't electrocute it. But yeah, so he's trying to hurry put Pikachu in the Pokemon Center, and Jenny is slowing him down, but eventually she's like, oh my goodness, look, a Pokedex. And then she's like, you really are Ash Ketchum.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really prove that he didn't steal Pikachu, but I guess that's good enough proof for him that he's an actual Pokemon trainer.
Yeah. What if he stole the Pokedex too? What if he?
Yeah. I don't know, would the Pokedex be like, this is Ash Ketchum, Pokemon thief?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Loser of Pallet Town.
The loser of Pallet Town. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. So she takes
Failure pupil of Professor Oak. Complete letdown of his mother. Milfington.
Yes, all of that. So Officer Jenny obviously takes him to the Pokemon Center on her bike and just on her motorcycle and just drives it into a hospital, which seems unsafe, unsanitary, and just all kinds of bad. But then as soon as he finally gets to the Pokemon Center, now Nurse Joy gives Ash a hard time. Like, how could you let your Pikachu get to this stage? As if Nurse Joy has not seen other Pokemon come fainted into her Pokemon Center.
I was gonna say too, like, not only does she drive into the Pokemon Center, but she like drifts and just like skids all across like their lobby.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think
like,
you'd have a little
just
more.
Just pouring out exhaust, just like running.
Oh man, it made me cough just thinking about it. Man. Like I said, I don't think Officer Jenny is a real policeman or policewoman or whatever you call the lady police officers. And then so now Nurse Joy is giving Ash a hard time, but she's just like, oh yeah, I'll take care of it, no problem. Everyone wants to scold a 10-year-old. I guess it is kind of fun to scold 10-year-olds, right?
You know, it'd be a crazy like conspiracy theory. You know, like how all the Officer Jennies and Nurse Joys look alike.
Right.
What if it's like a chromosomal like defect? You know, like how like Down syndrome people all kind of look alike.
Ooh.
What if they're like born,
theory.
you know, and they're like, ooh, this one comes like a Nurse Joy. I'm so sorry, but it looks like their only future will be nursing Pokemon.
Nursing Pokemon, yeah. Oh, I like that a lot. It kind of reminds me of that movie Ants. You seen that one?
With the builder ants and the army.
Yeah.
With the evil grasshoppers.
They're all Arnold Schwarzeneggers. They're like Arnold Schwarzenegger ants, and then like the little scrawny wimpy ones.
Wimpy.
Yeah. Exactly. But Nurse Joy helps Pikachu, and then Team Rocket comes for the first time.
Yeah.
This is our first.
Is it like the only
encounter
time we
with
see
Team
Nurse
Rocket.
Joy being stern too? Out of season 1?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah. He's you're not my mom. You're not doing Professor Oak, so I know you're not. What?
I think Ash needs a little bit of therapy there. man. Yeah, I think that Nurse Joy is just. I know that she's on every episode where there's a Pokemon Center, but as a character, I still think that she's pretty forgettable. Just because her personality is that there's a bunch of them, and that sometimes she's nice and she heals Pokemon. That's about it, right?
Everyone is more beautiful than the last, apparently.
According to Brock, yeah. Yeah, so...
Who I would gauge knows more about women than anyone we know.
Yeah, he's probably read more.
He's probably like, they all look identical to us, but he probably sees like the most subtlest details, like in the drawings.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you're probably right. That's a cool thought. Could you imagine being like that? Did you not see? Did you not see the difference?
Imagine just like going crazy like that.
Oh man.
You really can't tell the difference between them? Like, no.
That'd be hard. I mean, I've had a lot of friends. I've had a lot of twin friends in my life.
That's weird.
And I feel
that's
really?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh man. Like at church we had
just like
when I was
gathered to
when I was working with the youth, they just come to me. Yeah, I'm just like a magnet for like
just this beacon of light
gays.
for twins and gays.
Gays and twins, but not gay twins. No. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but yeah, like at church when I was helping with the youth, I had these two boys became really, really good friends. Like boys, they were 18-year-olds, you know, or 17-year-olds, and they were twins. And at the same time, I was working at the senior.
They were
home.
men's.
Yeah, men's. They were youths. And then at the same time, I was working at the senior home, and I became really good friends with a pair of other twins. They were girls, and they were kind of the same age.
Did you set them up?
I should have. That's a good idea. I never thought of that. Could you imagine? I'm sure it's happened, right? Twins that are married to twins.
Oh, I'm sure.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's happened.
And I'm sure they get mixed up all the time.
Like in bed?
Yeah.
You're not my wife. Oh well, might as well finish.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
How'd you grow this giant bush so fast? It's impressive.
Impressive. Not even angry.
Yeah, not even.
I think when I met both of these twins, I couldn't tell the difference at first, but literally just after getting to know them for a little while, I could tell the difference immediately, and I never messed up again, you know. But I think it's like looking in their face and having meaningful conversations with them, because my backdoor neighbors, they're twins and they're my son's age, and they're really, 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 really best friends with my son. And I can't tell them apart, but I think it's because I don't like stare at their face and have meaningful conversations
I just
with them.
stare at their body.
No. But Nico can tell them apart. He can tell them apart by their voice, not even their, like, he can tell them apart by their face, he can tell them apart by their voice. They don't sound and they don't look alike at all to him. And so, I don't know, I think it's a matter of, like, to tell twins apart, I think it's, like, a matter, for me, at least. You gotta, like, get to know them, have meaningful conversations, I can't.
Yeah, what's crazy is, like, people always say, like, oh, I can't tell you and your brother apart, like me and Jack. I'm like, really? Really?
Dang, that's a head scratcher.
Yeah, dude, I've heard it my whole life.
Is it just kind of you have the same build?
Maybe in the same laugh, but I mean, like,
You do have the same laugh. That
everyone's always just like, who's who? You know, like, which one are you?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, really?
Mom!
Mom!
Don't you love me? That's proof. Dang, you totally have the same laugh as Jack, though. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
it's pretty identical. And you got the same build, but I feel like Jack for me seems a little more like broad.
Just,
You are too, but I feel like Jack is more like he's got more shoulder. It seems like.
yeah. I know sometimes we wrestle and it's hard to get my arm around him.
Do you still wrestle?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Even as adults, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to wrestle my brother next time I see him, since he's been in the army and they've been pumping him with steroids.
I'll wrestle him.
Okay.
Give me that tiny booty.
Give me that tiny booty. He has no butt, man. You hear that, Kevin? You have nothing. You may be big and strong, but you have no butts. No buns of steel.
I remember during the filming of the X-Men movies, this picture was circulating of Hugh Jackman. And man, he has just this crazy torso, crazy huge arms, man, great shoulders, and then these tiny legs, you know?
Yeah. You're telling me about that.
Which I guess you can just hide in a pair of blue jeans, but man, you really got to even the.
No, I mean, if you think about it though, like for the Wolverine look, you just need the top part. It's already enough work. Don't make him have to do his legs too. But, where were we? Team Rocket comes in and they send out their Atkins and coughing, and they just start wrecking this hospital. And I'm surprised that the Pokemon Center doesn't have security. You'd think they would, right? If there are Pokemon thieves all around the Pokemon world, you'd think that the Pokemon Center, a place that could be, that you could get Pokemon, injured Pokemon easily, steal them, you'd think they'd have security. Right? Wouldn't you love that? Wouldn't you love to work as a security guard at a Pokemon Center?
I don't know. Like, I feel like Team Rocket's like really like the only organization I feel like still in Pokemon. Because like, what are these evil organizations doing? Like Team Magma wanted to like destroy the ocean, and just like end life on Earth.
Yeah.
And
Team Plasma wanted to liberate all Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Like, I think security is like not even like an issue. I feel like everyone's just like, they'll just catch new Pokemon.
Security wouldn't even be just for thieves. It'd be for like fights that are breaking out I'm sure hospitals have fights breaking out all the time, And in the Pokemon world, people don't fight; they just have their Pokemon fight for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you would be a security guard and have to, I guess if I was in Kanto, I'd have like a psychic type because psychics are just overwhelming and strong. And I would also work at a city where, that's close to like an area with weak Pokemon. So I don't have to face too many strong trainers.
I live in Peloton.
Yeah. Peloton doesn't even have a Pokemon Center. Who would you have as your Pokemon if you were in security? What if it doesn't even have to be Pokemon Center security? It could be just like Goldenrod or the New York one, or just like a big city. And you're working security for some building or whatever.
I feel like Machamp would be a good like scare or Machoke.
Yeah, at least to intimidate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to have a talk about your
Pokemon.
Have a Pokemon
an intimidate Pokemon could be useful. It's like an Arbok or maybe not Gyarados, is too big.
Yeah, I have like an Arceus.
just have like the Steelix. Dig Steelix. No, not here. For those of you who don't get it, Ryan and I did a run where it was a type run, and I had a Steelix on my team, so I was doing a ground type, and we were in the Ghost Tower in Sinnoh. And oddly enough, you can use Dig when you're when you're at the very top, highest part of the tower with Steelix. all those casualties.
You're just like, Drake, where's the door? Only one way down.
Oh man. Yeah, so the rest of it is just ridiculous. I mean, well, I guess we have a scene where Ash is throwing random Pokemon out to battle the Coughing and Ekans, and it's just like a Pidgey and Rattata that are too scared of them. And quick question: would they obey his commands if he sent them out, even though he's not the trainer?
I don't know, like maybe it depends like on the level cap, you know, or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, geography doesn't make sense in the Pokemon anime. It makes a lot more sense in what's the one, the Origins, right? Because it shows Pokemon gym leaders being like, "Oh, I see you've caught this many Pokemon. I see you have this many gym badges. These are the Pokemon I'll use against you then." Which makes more sense than everyone in the world coming from Pallet Town walking the same way that Ash is walking.
Can you imagine?
Because what if you literally lived
Pallet Town was like the origin of birth and life.
of life, yeah. Like, what if you lived in Sabrina's city? You just got your starter Pokemon, and then what? I guess you have to go to Professor Oak to get your starter Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to start there anyway. So you don't have to live in Pallet Town, but you always have to start there, because that's where what's his name? Oak is at. Okay, I guess I answered my own question. Anyways, where were we? Yeah. They say, Team Rocket's like, oh, we don't care about that Pikachu, it's so weak. But then they do care about the Pikachu for some reason. And then the Pikachu uses Pika Pika power to just destroy everything to smithereens. And that's about the episode. Oh, and then we end up following Ash to the... Oh man, I just blanked on the name of that forest.
Viridian,
yeah. Viridian Forest. And it looks like he's facing off with a Caterpie. I guess it was more of a Coughing... Yeah, he's about to throw a Pokeball at it. I guess it was more of Coughing, a little bit of combination of Coughing and Pikachu that exploded everything. But yeah, that's about the gist of last episode. If you didn't catch it on our channel or on our link.
That was a really good recap.
Oh, thank you. We went off on so many tangents. I don't know. Well, I guess that's what makes it a good recap.
Yeah.
Is it a good recap if we don't talk about what we're supposed to be talking about?
Exactly. That's what makes it.
Gotcha. I'll try to keep that in mind.
You mentioned the Pika Pika power. I didn't hear you.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Ash doesn't even.
You're all like, great recap. I didn't hear you.
Ash doesn't even battle the Caterpie. He just straight up just throws a Pokeball at it. I feel like he's learned.
He hasn't done it yet.
He's learned like nothing. No, the episode ends with him throwing a Pokeball.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're trying to see if he's gotten caught, if the Caterpie has been catched.
Yeah, that was the big cliffhanger.
Oh man, I wonder if this Caterpie will follow him through his whole journey and into other regions.
Probably, because you know how important Pokemon are to him.
Yeah, and how he's only caught like 75 of them. I was watching one of our videos and you had said that for one of the trivia that Ash has only caught like 75 Pokemon in total.
Really?
In all of his journey, yeah.
I asked you that?
You asked me that on a trivia question, and you said it was like 75 or something like that. That's how many Pokemon he's caught. Ever. I mean, let me look that up actually. How many Pokemon Ash caught? 77. Yeah, that's not very much.
Pathetic,
How
actually.
many Pokemon are there?
You want to do some like quick math?
1,013. 27 divided by 18. So he's caught like 8% of Pokemon. Less
There's
than 8%.
no way.
No way what?
That math doesn't add up. 1,000 what?
1,013.
Oh yeah, 0.07. That is so. If you times 7,
Yes.
0.07
Times 100.
times 100.
Yeah, it'll be 7%.
Interesting. I just feel like 7% is still just high for.
For how garbage Ash is at catching
Yeah.
Pokemon. Yeah. It does seem like it's more when you do the percentages, I guess. That's Ash, and we are gonna watch Ash catch his first Pokemon. You know, this is a cliffhanger.
Yeah, spoiler alert!
We see,
Spoiler,
yeah.
everyone.
It was a cliffhanger. We don't know what's gonna happen. He's throwing the ball at Caterpie. What's gonna happen? The title of this episode is called Ash Catches a Pokemon. Let's see if he catches a Pokemon.
Spoiler.
Like there's a lot of titles like this, guys, where
It just completely just summarizes
just
the video.
completely ruins the episode for you. But yeah, I'm ready to start if you are. YouTube.
Well, before we start, let's hear some updates. How's your Nuzlocke going?
Haven't done anything.
Oh, no progress?
No progress. I've just been doing some video editing, and I got the WWE game, so I've been playing that a little bit.
Oh, have you tried them out yet?
Yeah, it's fun.
And?
I got 2K19 because that's
because that was supposed to be like the other one, right?
I heard that was like the one that's closest to the old games, you know, and the funnest to play from all these last generation of games.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's not as fast paced as Here Comes the Pain, the one we always played.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot more you can do, and it's pretty similar as far as like how to play, you know.
Interesting.
The way they do it too, instead of like how other games, I think you would be graded on how good the match was, not so much if you won or lost. I think like in this game, they still give you like, you know, stars, like you can get up to 5 stars. But instead of like even caring about putting on a show, you can just do whatever you want. And if it ends up being a really good show, then they give you more like money, which you can use that money to purchase moves or to purchase, you know, wrestlers that are locked, kind of thing.
Can you make your own wrestler?
Yeah, you can make your own wrestler, and they even have like a My Career mode, which is like, I haven't really gotten too far, but it's pretty involved. It has like your character starts at like this indie wrestling business organization.
Oh, cool.
You get signed by NXT, but then you do something to blow your contract, so then you have to like travel to Mexico and like do different things trying to get back into the WWE.
Luchadoring.
Yeah, and then you have like, I'm at this part of the game where like we break into WWE and just start wrestling other wrestlers there without being on the card. And Triple H is like, we want a chance so bad, and we're gonna set you up on a wrestling match. And it's like you're against WWE, but you're also trying to get into WWE. It's weird.
You might just like,
but it's kind of cool too.
Breaking into like the WWE to like wrestle people, like. You're just picking like the biggest people on planet Earth to pick a fight with.
Exactly.
Like they may not like actually fight for real, but they do know how to throw and grapple and everything.
Right.
And they do.
Yeah.
Those muscles aren't fake.
Have you ever heard Brian Regan's his comedy stand-up thing that he was talking about his dad? He goes, my dad was a professional wrestler, and everybody's like, oh, and he's like, yeah, the best part about that is that he never really hit us.
He just like stomped and made the ground when he spanked.
Yeah. He's like, but you did not want him to get his belt.
Oh no.
Anyways, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. Your character's like a broke wrestler just trying to make it big. But I honestly prefer just playing with the actual real wrestlers. My player mode is kind of cool, but I like playing how you and me used to play all the time in the PS2. And creating characters is really fun too.
Oh, I'm sure. I love like the creating part more than like the using part.
More than the what?
The using.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could tell. With your poopy anteater.
And you got a Goosebumps episode in the works?
Oh yeah, I did finish. I still haven't recorded it, but I do have the Say Cheese and Die. I have all the notes and everything. I just gotta put it on video now. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm ready
for
YouTube.
You wanna do your YouTube spiel?
Yeah, YouTube. We'll be right back. Well, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Catch the episode on the link below, and you'll see our reaction to this episode.
All right, let me know when you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Also, all right?
Ready. Yep.
Let's go. All right, welcome back, YouTube.
Hey guys, what's up?
You didn't miss anything.
What's up? What are you talking about? That was a great episode.
It was right.
Really? Okay, well, I disagree with you. Mister. It's Mr. Sweet Pea to you. You really feel like just all right?
We'll talk about it. Let me give a recap.
Alright. You insist.
Our journey this episode starts off with them in the Viridian Forest. Ash facing off with a Caterpie. He throws a Pokeball, it catches it. He lets it out where immediately Misty is repulsed and disgusted by it. Ash, being a 10-year-old selfish boy, doesn't understand that Misty is afraid of it and is unable to control her fears, and thus will be afraid of it until she takes steps to conquer that fear. Yet he still waves the Caterpie in her face and tries to get her to like it. It ends up to them having a fight. They potentially split ways, but yet meet back up at the campfire, where Pikachu and Caterpie flirt through the whole night. We revisit our protagonists in the morning. Caterpie has fallen asleep next to Misty, where she wakes up screaming. Ash, of course, comes to Caterpie's defense, puts Misty down some more, tries to raise Caterpie's ego and self-confidence. Doesn't work. He crawls back into a Pokeball, wherein he sees a wild Pidgeotto. He then sends out Caterpie to fight it, where Caterpie is molested and tormented until he is called back. where he then sends out Pikachu, who Thundershocks it. Before the Thundershock is even over, Ash throws a Pokeball and catches it.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, right? Don't let
I
him.
never thought of doing something like that while they're being attacked.
Yeah, don't even let him recover.
Yeah.
As he's gloating about his second catch, Team Rocket ambushes them. They do a 2-on-1 against Ash, where Ash's Pidgeotto goes first and falls to their overwhelming numbers and strength. He next sends out Caterpie, who with a move that does nothing but slow a Pokemon, actually manages to take them both out.
Well, he slowed him enough to be able to tackle coughing into Ekans, so that makes sense, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, the Meowth, all he did was string shot it.
Yeah, I think Meowth probably just, thought it was icky and wanted to leave.
I would too. If I got like mummified in bug string.
Bug jizz.
Yeah. Because that's not spiderweb. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Spiderweb would be gross.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I get. Ugh.
Could you imagine being shot out with spiderwebs?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's probably too much for you.
It's a little gross.
It's a little gross.
Caterpie defeats Team Rocket, and that's kind of where the story ends for now.
Well, no, he evolves.
Oh my god, yes. Caterpie evolves into Metapod. He just shoots the jizz straight up in the air and lets it land on top of him. His own byproduct. Until he evolves. And then we see a Big Dick Bee. It's kind of like some foreshadowing.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I like the foreshadow there.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts on this episode.
Okay, yeah. I really enjoyed this episode, and probably it's because even though, like you said, there was strength in numbers and Team Rocket was cheating, and we are coming to this episode after seeing the whole first season. And
I don't even think they were cheating. Double battles are totally a thing.
Yeah, not till Gen 5, but still, this was one of the best battles in Pokemon Season 1.
I was about to say that, yeah, probably like in Season 1.
Yeah, it was good. There was digging, there was flying, Ekans was flying.
Ekans was flying.
Yeah, Coughing was spewing his dirty jizz. And then, Caterpie was spewing his jizz. I like this strategy. It seems like Ash doesn't know what he's doing, but you have this battle where Coughing's coming at him, and he string shots Coughing into a stringy ball, and then tackles a Coughing into an Ekans. That was good. That was really, yeah. Maybe the best battle I've seen. Maybe right next to, one that will come in a gym battle later. No spoilers, Serge. I think we can draw from the conclusion from this episode.
Baby.
Hey, baby! I call everyone.
I call everyone baby.
Okay. Yeah. Enough of the spoilers, Ryan. I think we can just assume from this episode that the most important thing for Caterpie is getting up on girls.
The love and affection of women.
Yeah. And, who can't relate to that? I guess, women that like men. But other than that, who can't relate to that? Misty doesn't like Caterpie. She says it's disgusting. He said the only things that are the worst, most disgusting things in the world are carrots, peppers, and bugs. And then Ash says, well, I like carrots, peppers, and bugs. In a way saying, you are very strange, Misty, because you don't like things that I like. Which I think that's probably, justified in Ash's head.
In a way saying, I'm gross. I'm disgusting.
No, I think he's just trying to tell her that she's very strange for not liking things that he likes. Like, don't you know I'm the center of the universe?
Yeah.
You should be liking everything I like. Anyways, he tries to ditch her, and like Ryan said, you know, and he says during the episode, if you owed someone $1 million bike, you'd probably want to ditch him too. He says, "I'll make good on your bike promise."
When are you gonna get over that stupid bike?
Yeah, when are you gonna get over that $1 million bike?
And for those of you guys watching who don't know why we keep saying the bike's $1 million, it's because in Kanto, in the video game, a bike costs like $999,999.
Right. When are you gonna get over that, Misty?
And I think that's the game's way of like not allowing you to buy the bike, like you having to going around the story mode of getting the bike voucher.
Do you think they were just like didn't like Red or something? Like Red came in and they're like, "Look at that guy. He's
all right." Like for everyone else,
I don't like his hat. Let's
like
charge
normal
him
price.
Yeah, let's charge him
Hey, I don't like him.
99,000.
He's going around calling everyone baby.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I have been guilty of this. Me and Redmond used to sell fireworks by the side of the road, and if someone was really nice, we'd give them discounts, and if they weren't, we'd just make them pay full price or a little bit more. So, yeah, you know, I totally get that. But yeah, this one of the highlights. There's a lot of highlights to this episode, but one of the highlights was I can't even say without laughing. Was Ash doing the worm?
Yeah.
And Misty hurts Caterpie's feelings, so he's crawling away back into its ball. And Ash gets in his sleeping bag. He's still in his sleeping bag, and he's doing the crawl too. It's great. Hey, could you move the screen so I can see you?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, I really like this episode. I think the battling was great. I liked the fact that he catches actually 2 Pokemon. So this episode he catches 2 Pokemon, and he has how many battles, right? He battles Caterpie with Pidgeotto, doesn't go good, that's 1 battle. Pikachu versus Pidgeotto. Then you got Pidgeotto versus Team Rocket, and Caterpie, Pikachu versus Team Rocket, Pidgeotto versus Team Rocket, and Caterpie versus Team Rocket. And you get an evolution. So that's 2 Pokemon caught, 6 battles, an evolution, and the introduction of Beedrill. And it didn't seem like it was too much going on to me. Did it seem like that to you?
No.
Yeah, it seemed like it flowed pretty well. Misty gets pretty mad though when he sends out Caterpie against Pidgeotto, and Ash says, "Well, if you try really hard, things will always work out, won't they?"
Iconic.
Iconic quote. Yeah, that should be right there next to the Mewtwo quote about doesn't matter what your origins are. If you try hard enough, things will work out, won't they? Yeah. I really like Coughing and Ekans in this episode. I like how Team Rocket is still viewed as a threat. They weren't made a joke of at all. There's one part where they're kind of like fighting amongst each other because they accidentally are telling Ash their plan to steal Pikachu. But other than that, every time Ash made a joke or tried to say something messed up about Team Rocket, instead of them making like a stupid face or falling on the floor or having like the big water droplet coming out of their head, they actually respond as a villain would respond. So I'm enjoying Team Rocket this way, which I know it won't last, but it is kind of nice to see him like that. Yeah. I like this. I like this episode, man. It was great. It had a lot going on, but it didn't seem like there was too much going on. And Team Rocket actually looked like a threat. Like they took out Pikachu, which is huge. As we see later in the season, it's not an easy feat to take out Pikachu. And then they took out Pidgeotto, which which at this point is Ash's, second best Pokemon, I guess. Yeah, Team Rocket was a threat. Pokemon being caught, great battles. Yeah, this episode had it all for me, honestly. No gym badges or anything like that, but everything else was in here. I guess we were also missing holes. We'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
This was definitely an alright episode for me. I believe this episode is a needed one. Like, some episodes, we can go without, like, it wouldn't change the story. But not only do we see him catch, like, fundamental parts of his team, like Pidgeotto and Caterpie, it really kind of walks us through the catching process, the battling process, and things that we need to know to move forward with the season. I really enjoyed him catching Caterpie. I enjoyed him wrongfully throwing out Caterpie against Pidgeotto to kind of show weaknesses and strengths in battle, because it's not something we've really touched on yet. I do appreciate all the battles that they put in this episode. However, I do think it's kind of inconsistent. Like, they beat Pikachu but lost to a Caterpie, or that they lost to a Caterpie in general, and that we're supposed to respect them as a threat. It's also the first time we were kind of shown their incompetence, and it's just kind of, this is like the beginning of the end for them as a respectable villain.
But don't you feel like, so you feel more like they shouldn't have lost to a Caterpie, as opposed to Ash used a very creative measure, knowing what Caterpie was capable of and using its strengths to actually pull off a win? I feel like at this point in the game, Team Rocket either needs to be winning, or Ash needs to find creative ways of winning like that, but not in a way that's like this giant total upset, This is like a little league beating like a major league soccer team, Oh man, no, I disagree. I think it was a creative idea to beat Team Rocket, and I think they would never lose to it again. Like, if they had to face off with Caterpie again, Caterpie would be toast, would be jelly, like immediately. But they used something strategic, something clever that would work only once.
I think that this shouldn't have worked, because even if he tackled coughing into Ekans, I don't think it would have knocked them both out. His one Caterpie tackle. I do think it was super creative, but I think they could have used that more so, like, maybe like Caterpie was buying time, but it was inevitably going to lose, while Ash showed us how potions work and healed his Pidgeotto. And then it was a fair 2-on-2 battle where them working together was able to beat Team Rocket. I just don't like the setting the power dynamic like that, to where even Ash's weakest Pokemon can defeat his villainous rival, at their full strength. While Caterpie went into this battle already hurt and damaged.
That's what happens when you underestimate someone, If they won't underestimate Caterpie anymore.
Yeah, but keep in mind too, like, this Caterpie, by the TV show standard, was a weak Caterpie, which is why he didn't have to battle it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, he did smash it in the face. I don't know if that counts as part of battling, but he did smash it in the face with that Pokeball.
Yeah, right. It grew a level from that. Some battle experience.
Probably grew battle. I mean, he probably grew experience by.
And then don't forget the pounding that Pikachu attacked it with
Yeah,
throughout
exactly. Throughout the night, yeah. Yeah, it's just it's something that the game doesn't take into account is motivations, inspirations, sleeping with Pikachu at night,
Yeah.
and waking up to Misty's face.
I definitely feel like that's my one gripe about the episode, is just a dismantling of Team Rocket on episode 3. These people that are supposed to be such an important part of the TV show, It's really hard to take a villain serious. When usually it's supposed to be like the final season finale, like, oh, I finally beat them. Like I'm finally strong enough to do it on my own.
Oh, man, but I feel like they could like Team Rocket, if they wanted to do it, they could bounce back from this and still be a huge threat. What happens is they just never decide to let them bounce back from this. That's the real issue. Because you could say, "Oh, we were surprised and we underestimated, and we won't do it again," and then they're a threat again.
Yeah, well,
they take everything serious.
What this does is it forces, because Team Rocket is weak now that we know and can't battle. It forces Team Rocket to be creative in all the episodes going forward, creating giant elaborate plans, machines, schemes to battle and capture these Pokemon, instead of our protagonists having to be the ones to band together, be creative, think outside the box to stay on par with them.
I mean, that's a big picture problem for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it begins here for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
with you
this
on
is
that,
the Rusty
but
Lake.
That's a big picture problem.
Yeah, this is the beginning of the downfall for them. Mm-hmm. This is where Team Rocket, lost their momentum, lost everything, their confidence.
Yeah, but if I remember correctly, their Pokemon evolved pretty soon into the season, and even with evolutions, they're still a joke. I feel like there's even losing this match, I still think there's so many ways for Team Rocket to still be a threat, still be going up, and it was the decision to not do that. But even though this is the beginning, I wouldn't say that they were doomed to make Team Rocket the way they did because of what happened in this episode.
I don't know. I definitely feel like it was a purposefully done episode, like these, like, it's really hard to take them as a threat seriously when a Caterpie can beat them.
But look at it this way though. They actually put up a fight.
Yeah, which strangely enough against Ash's stronger Pokemon.
Right. They put up a fight, and I know later in the series they didn't really do much of that because they have to, like you say, rely on their tricks and schemes and plots and traps and all that stuff. But they actually put up a fight this time. So it might be the start of their downfall, but at least they actually tried this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess it's hard because we want to judge this episode as a standalone episode, but we've just seen the whole first season already, so it's kind of hard to not look ahead. But I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, even as a standalone episode, like, I would have the same gripes. Like, it's not like they built Caterpie up in this episode. They actually just spent the episode tearing him down and saying how weak he is. And I guess
he proved everybody wrong.
Yeah, but to say, and maybe that's their idea, is like the character growth in Caterpie, the way that Caterpie proved everyone wrong by overcoming the fear and battling, which is something that he has shown not to be good at. Was what caused him to evolve as both a Pokemon and individual, but it's just so far-fetched,
It does show him at night seeing a Butterfree fly ahead.
Yeah, and it does show him being inspired by the moon, which is where Metapod gets its shape from. But still, man, it is unearned, in my opinion. Like Ash's badges and undeserved.
No, Ash's badges are way more unearned than this. Nah.
It reminds me of the episode where they were trying to get Paris to evolve and just throw the match. You know.
No. And you gave that a 5-star.
Yeah, but it's because Team Rocket was already established as a joke, and they were working together, and all this other factors. Here, like, they were supposed to be threatening. They flicked Ash across a field, like.
Wow, man, we're gonna be on different sides of the spectrum in this episode.
It's definitely not let me repeat again, though. It's definitely not a bad episode.
But what about the battles?
The battles were good, especially, I mean, everything aside from Caterpie. Although it was a creative win, like you said. You know, like the string shot, the tackle, the string shot again. It's just like the level of... Even in this fictional world of make-believe, it is still so hard to withhold... how to say...
disbelief, or what is it called? I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what it's called.
It's hard.
Suspension.
Yeah.
Suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, it's hard to it's even in this world of make believe and fantasy and monsters and magic. It's hard to suspend my whatever, you know, like
disbelief
for this battle. You know, just because I'm aware what a Caterpie is.
I'm aware. Acknowledge him, right, man? Acknowledge him.
Yeah.
What about the Pidgeotto battle? Was great though, huh?
That was great. That. You know, even the Ekans flying. You know, like that was hard. I could suspend my disbelief for a flying Ekans. More.
It just jumps really high. I don't know.
No, that thing was
snakes jump.
That thing was changing direction in air. All right.
Yeah. Well, he has a long body. Oh man. Well, shall we move to encounters?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's go.
I got them up on Twitch. Our encounters for this episode are Pidgeotto, Metapod, Beedrill, and Butterfree. I am 100% going with Beedrill. It's one of my favorite designed Pokemon. One of my absolute favorite Mega Evolution ever. And just an all-around perfect Pokemon. Beautiful Pokemon.
It is perfect.
Yeah.
I guess I'd go with Pidgeotto. I like Pidgeot. I like Pidgeot.
I like Pidgeotto more than Pidgeot.
Really?
Yeah, I think his hair gets a little too crazy.
That's what I like about him.
It's like, cut your hair, bro.
Yeah, it's like, man, you know who I love, but the hair like kills it for me?
Walrein?
Yeah. Beast form Gohan.
Yeah. He always has like the one bang in his eye, or like in front of him on his forehead, and then Beast mode, it's just enormous.
Yeah. And his hair is like as long as his body. It's longer than like Super Saiyan 3, I think. Just like slicked back.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird for people that are watching this in order. Like, they're talking about the Dragon Ball Super movie, and then like later on they're talking about it coming out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
spoiler,
guys.
He gets crazy hair. Believe it or not.
Anyways, it's not like they're going to be watching this like at the same time we recorded this the original time. Anyways, yeah. Okay, I can respect your pick. It's not correct, but I can respect it.
Right, I respect your wrong opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm just gonna go first. I'm giving this 4.5. Let's say 4.5 peppers and carrots. Carrots and peppers. Yeah, no, dude, I really love this, and I think this episode did it so much for me because I love Pokemon battling, and I don't get enough of it.
Well, I think I'd rate this episode a 3. It's definitely above average. It does have battles. It does have catching Pokemon, which is like the essence of Pokemon itself.
Yeah.
It's just honestly, there's just a lot of filler in this episode too.
Like at the beginning, you mean?
Yeah. But yeah, and we did our encounters. Okay.
Yeah, that's all for this episode. Catch us for episode 2, 3, 4. 4.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. All right.
See ya.
Keep dangling the bananas. Give your partner those null eyes. Peace.
Oh yeah.